Welcome to the third and final installment of our cycling adventure on the Route des Grandes Alpes in the French Alps. In this video, we'll begin where we left off in the last episode, in the delightful town of Barcelonette. We'll cycle through the Haute-Provence Alps and into the Maritime Alps, crossing 6 more cols on the way to Menton on the Mediterranean. Along the way, you'll see that one of our riders has an unfortunate accident. But we still managed to make it to the end of the route in Nice. This day begins with a quick trip to the bike shop to replace a couple of missing bolts on my cleat. We have 2 cols and 2,200 meters to climb today, and shorter than average by distance, but that's a bit misleading because we end at the top of our second climb, so we don't rack up a bunch of free kilometers with a long descent at the end. Beautiful start to this ride. This road is quiet and the pavement is good. Sun is shining, and it hasn't started to pitch up yet. One of the unexpected treats of the Route des Grandes Alpes are all the incredible canyons you ride through. This is one of them, but there are probably 4 or 5 that would make great day rides or driving tours all on their own. And I wasn't expecting the canyons to be as beautiful as the mountains on this ride. 25 kilometers of windy. That's good. I was thinking about, as you do one of these climbs, you have these kilometer markers all the way up that also tell you what the average elevation gain is for that kilometer. So it'll say 5% or 7% or 8%. And let's say you're on a 5% kilometer and then you get a downhill bit. You always think, oh shit, I'm gonna pay the price for this downhill bit because there's gonna be something really steep coming up that ends up averaging out to 5%. So you start to resent the downhill bits. But then we were talking about it thinking, you should enjoy the downhill bit. It's free meters. So put those in your back pocket and keep going rather than complain about how it's gonna get steeper in a sec. But it's interesting the mental games you play. I love all these timely little public water fountains that show up in the villages and towns that you pass. And they always seem to appear exactly when you need them. I really enjoyed the ride up Col de Valberg. I know it's probably not on anybody's bucket list. It certainly wasn't on mine. But quietly, it's just very beautiful. Some nice waterfalls, beautiful scenery, and just a lack of traffic, which you really appreciate after a while. The constant stream of motorcycles going by gets to be a bit much on some of the more well-known climbs. We're at the top of Col de Valberg, and this is the first time I have seen Nice on the sign. So we are getting warmer, literally and figuratively. That's exciting. We have 2 more days. Well, we have the rest of this day, and then a big, huge day, and then kind of a half day into Nice.
It is
after you've come down from Col de Valberg, you travel along the valley floor for quite a while along the river. And you pass through some cute little towns and a lot of awesome tunnels like the ones you're seeing here until you finally arrive at Guillaume. And then at Guillaume, you start the climb back up again towards Col de Valberg, which is the second and last climb of our day. On our way to Col de Valberg. It's like 29.5 Celsius, and we're doing a 1,000-meter climb, and it's exposed to the sun all the way. So I'm a little worried about, well, just about the obvious. Making sure that I have enough water, and I'm gonna take some shade breaks along the way, I think. You don't really see it in the video here, but for a lot of the climb to Valberg, there is a sheer drop on your right. And it's a little bit scary when you're sharing a very narrow road with quite a few cars and a lot of motorcycles. And at one point, a group of about 10 Lamborghinis and Ferraris and supercars went screaming by, making us very nervous. We are at the top of Col de Valberg. What's wrong with that? This was a very hard-earned climb. Holy, 1,200 meters at the end of a hot day. Woo woo woo! I'm gonna try. It's true.
You did it.
It's true.
What did 99% of the world do today?
Sat on their
nothing.
fat asses and ate cheesies.
It did nothing.
So after we had our celebratory beer at the end, it seemed like a good idea when we're looking across at the ski slopes to give the luge d'été a shot, the summer luge. And so we went on over still in our cycling gear and our bike shoes and made our way up the hill. And this is where things went a little bit sideways. Now, I don't know if it was the giant 8% beer we just had, or if it was the natural competitiveness between two childhood friends, but one of us made it safely to the bottom of the luge, and the other one, not so much. Hey! You actually bailed? Are you hurt? Oh, dude, look at that.
I skimmed it, oh yeah. Look at my elbow.
Oh, man.
Not good.
That's... Oh, and here too, there's some holes.
Oh, there's some holes
Little
there?
teeny ones, yeah. You fell right out of the luge.
I fell out of the side of
That is unprecedented.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
No.
Look at that.
There's a cycling.
Yeah, the way I'm going to edit all this together,
It's all cycling.
it's going to be a cycling thing.
Yeah, sure.
Because I don't want anyone to know that you bailed on the children's ride.
Where are you?
And then this is where the luge took a bite out of you.
Yes, so got there.
Those two suckers.
Then
Went
the,
right through his
then
shirt
the
too.
elbow.
This one is going to hurt like
That
hell.
one's going to be the worst, I think.
in
the
the
elbow.
shower.
The elbow's going to be the worst. And then the knee.
And then we
Couple
got
of
two on the
scrapes
knee.
on the knee.
Mike!
Oh yeah.
Mike, what were you thinking?
I was thinking.
You were thinking Maverick and Goose,
I
weren't
was
you?
thinking Elliot. Elliot's ahead of me.
Getting ready.
Getting fueled.
Mm-hmm.
We are leaving beautiful little Valberg, France, at the top of the Col de Valberg. Just doing a final check on the Airbnb, make sure we're leaving it in good shape. Last minute tweaking on the bikes. Just waiting for our hero.
That's me.
And her sidekick, the less than glorious hero that can't survive the summer luge. Oh, we're gonna enjoy that a lot the next couple days. He's not though.
He's not.
He's not. He's in some pain, poor fella. All right, let's hit the road. Day 6 is the last big day of the journey with 109 kilometers and 2,800 meters of climbing today. We go over 3 mountain passes, although if you remember, we ended high last night, so we only have a little dip, and then we're already at our first pass. For some reason, Google Translate calls Col de la Cuillole neck of the balls. Now, I'm not French, so I'm not going to question it, but that can't be right. Nevertheless, after a brief dip into a high valley, and then a short climb, we are at our first col of the day. The ride down was long and super windy and so fun, but I didn't really get any good footage of it, so here we are beginning our ascent towards Col Saint Martin. Oh yeah, he really got pounded. There you can see the road that we've just come up.
All you wanna do is ride around Sally.
You can really tell we've passed into the southern Alps now because the landscape is more arid and it's dry and hot. And even though the mountains aren't as high and dramatic as they were up north, still Col Saint Martin was a long climb. Arriving at the top of Col Saint Martin at the ski area, you can see that this isn't quite the vibrant ski resort that Val d'Isère and others were, probably because the ski season's hit or miss this far south. So soon after you reach Roquebillière, you begin the last big climb of the trip, Col de Torini. And it's funny, even though we've now done, I don't know, a dozen big cols, I always feel the same at the bottom. Nervous, butterflies in the stomach, a feeling of dread. That just hasn't gone away yet. And so I'm back to the mental gymnastics and talking myself into it and hyping myself up, 1 kilometer at a time. I've been very quiet on this climb. We're on Col de Torini, and there's about 7 kilometers left. And just don't feel like talking to the camera. I'm just trying to keep my head down and keep going. And that's what it's like. It seems like every climb is 1,200 meters, which is 3,800 feet. So like, every one of these suckers beats the crap out of you. So many motorcycles too. What's cool about Col de Torini, if I remember right, from that pass, you get your first peek at the Mediterranean, which is mind-boggling to me that we're actually almost there. I hope that's true, because that will be such a cool moment. I can't believe it. And my amigos are waiting like heroes as usual. Here we go. Oh my gosh. The descent from Torini was really special. And I know I always say the descents are awesome, but this one was really good for a few reasons. One, because you know it's the last big descent of the entire trip, so you just want to squeeze every bit out of it that you can. Also, it was spectacularly beautiful, and you went through, as you could see, this archway which led to a little chapel up on the mountainside. And then the road itself was just like a noodle, with many tight little switchbacks, so quite technical but quite fun to ride. And also in the late afternoon, it seemed like there was very little traffic to have to compete with, so you had the road to yourself, and it was amazing. Oh yeah. Okay, just getting off on our very last day. Heading out from Sospel, France. We're leaving a little later today because we have a short day, so we were being a little more casual. Anyway, yeah, so lovely place here in Sospel. Ancient old building in the old town. Really nice. And now we head to the coast, 20 kilometers to the coast. We have just set off and we are climbing a little thing called Col de above Sospel on our way to Menton, which is on the water. I haven't looked at the elevation map, but I know when Mike and Georgia refer to a climb as spicy, that's another word for hard. So it's small, but maybe steep. That's okay. Getting close. Hey, buddy. There is the Mediterranean.
We found it.
We found it! We've been looking everywhere. Once we crested Col de Castillon, I was really just thinking about two things. Celebrating what we'd accomplished to make it all the way here from Geneva, and also staying safe, because there's a lot of traffic once you reach the French Riviera. Would you look here where we are? Now, the Route des Grandes Alpes used to end in Menton until they moved the ending to Nice. But confusingly, there's still a kilometer zero plaque in Menton. So it felt like since we were there anyway, we needed to go and see and touch the plaque. Right? We are above Monaco. Look at that. It just looks rich. This last stretch was just like a victory lap. We went up and above Monaco and Aise with the panoramic views of the French Riviera, and it just gave me a chance to reflect on the scale of what we'd accomplished over the last 700 plus kilometers. And I just felt so overwhelmingly grateful. Somebody there. If you're thinking about doing the Route des Grandes Alpes yourself, I highly recommend it. Then make sure you check out my Packing Smart video with the link in the description down here. Also, if you'd like to follow us on our midlife adventures as we try to live with some purpose and passion in our middle years, then subscribe to our channel. And lastly, if this is the only video you've seen in this series, there's a whole playlist that starts from Lake Geneva and ends in Nice. So click the playlist link somewhere here. Thanks. This is what it looks like when you are finished the Route des Grandes Alpes. You take your ass off of one hard object and you put it onto another one.
Yeah.
But somehow this feels so much better.
Yeah.